I know I've done you wrong, little darling. I've run around with everything in town. If you'll just tell me you'll forgive me, I'll make it up if it takes 100 years.
All right. This is my second run through with factor number 5 on the 5 things that you need to do before you get too much into practicing spiritual principles and stuff like this. These are 5 underlying foundational things that everyone that's trying to get better and do better should work on regardless of your addiction. Number 1 was the structured environment. You want to put yourself in a structured environment so you're not pillar to post and you're not just whatever. That leads to bad problems. Number 2, you want to set some long-term goals or some goals that are unrelated to avoiding the toxicity, that are unrelated to staying sober. And this is because if you relapse or if you go back and you have an incident where you return to the thing that caused you the pain to start with because of the overwhelming cravings that we'll talk about later and what they are and how to deal with them. When you get hit by this, you're liable to go out. But if you've got another goal, a education goal, or working towards a career goal, a trying to do something other than that's independent of staying sober, you don't necessarily mess that up when you relapse. You don't necessarily mess that up when you return to the toxic relationship. And so even though you feel like shit because you would feel like you failed in that one area, you haven't failed in the other area yet. And so you move on. As an example of that, I'm told about a young lady who eventually became my wife that we relapsed a number of times, but her perseverance in wanting to be somebody, wanting to be a lawyer from a high school dropout single mom, and eventually wanting to be a politician, an elected politician. And, it was something that kept her going, even when she fell off the wagon. And it didn't make her give up. So it's a good thing to have those concurrent goals. And you want to exercise. My example of that one was, man, I've worked inside for so long. I was in bad shape. I started to feel bad about myself. I looked bad. I felt better when I started to exercise. When I could run a mile without breaking a sweat in a South Georgia summer, I knew that I had gotten better, but it took a while. The exercise is necessary. Okay. And then obviously get a job. If you don't already have a job, you need to get one. If you have a job and you're making too much money and money is a trigger, find a job where you don't make as much money. Volunteer, do service work, do something to fill up that large gap of time to contribute to your structure. Okay, now, number 5. You got to balance it all. When you take and you put your structure out there, when you do your schedule for your structure, make sure that it's balanced. Take time for yourself. Take time to rest. Take time to engage in activities that are fun, that are not constantly beating you over the head with do this, do that, be a better person, don't be a shitty person, and this, that, and other. Go play some ball. Go ride a bicycle. Go swimming. Play some video games. But seek some balance, because as an addict, as someone that chases that all or nothingness, it's very easy for me to get caught up. And I'm sure that I'm no different than anybody else. It's very easy to get caught up. So seek some balance. There's a bunch of different ways to look at finding balance in your life. On YouTube, literally type in how to find balance in my life. There's a channel by Alux. It's literally the letter A, L-U-X. They have a whole bunch of really good videos on this very thing. So that would be your assignment as far as from a curriculum basis. What I'm doing here in my little spiels is giving you some background and trying to explain to you why you would want to do these things. But recovery And becoming a better person is very self-directed. It's very much an inside job. So you have to do this for yourself. And if you're not willing to go and look these things up, if you're not curious enough to say, well, gee, I wonder if he's full of shit or not, then, you don't really want it. And, you can put on the facade. I'm not hounding anybody about that. You can put on some facade. But, if you lift weights too much, that's not good. That throws you out of whack. I knew some people that did that and they got clean. They started lifting weights. If you ride a bicycle too much, if you watch TV too much, oh dear Lord, there are so many things that can creep up on you, and before you know it, you're out of balance with them because they take up too much of your energy. Drama, the going back and forth, tail bearing, trying to rev things up and stir the shit stick. I mean, that's just tiring and it throws you out of balance. A good initial balance is just like when we were in school. Wake up, get ready, go to work, do the best you can, don't give up, get off, go exercise, take a rest, go and do anything towards one of your short-term, medium-term, long-term goals. Come home, take some time for yourself, relax, unwind, get some rest, wake up, do it again. Try to seek balance. And one thing that you can do when you're seeking balance is to find someone that will not be hoodooed by your bullshit. In the program, they call that a sponsor. Every once in a while, you want to find someone that you kind of like, but maybe don't like. And you trust them, though, to tell you the truth. And listen to them. Consider what they say. You don't always have to do what they say. You don't always have to follow what they say. But at least have someone that can be honest, that you will consider what they've said. You will consider when they say, hey, man, you're getting a little bit out of control. Believe me, it helps. There's a few people like that in my life. Don't go for people, however, that are constantly bitching and always find bad things, that never have anything good to say about what you've been doing, that never have anything good to say about you. It's always the same argument that you're never good enough. Those are not the people you want to go for. You want to go for someone that you can trust, that will see you in a way that you can't see yourself, and have them tell you when you're getting a little out of balance, and consider what they say. Again, as an assignment, I would say go to YouTube and look up some of the ALUX videos. Also, when you're seeking balance in your life, the old Stoics have a lot to say on that. If you're a reader, look up Seneca. He's got some good stuff on that. There's also audiobooks and other things in today's world of hustle and bustle. So ALUX, which is literally ALUX.com, and check out some of their videos. They'll teach you how to balance out that life thing. Frederick Nietzsche, How to Find Yourself, is another good one that you can look at. And also, Honest Liars. This is a TED Talk by a professor from the University of Las Vegas, where she talks about self-deception and how we deceive ourselves. And it's very important as we go towards a balance in our life that we don't deceive ourselves. This particular video I used to show in the mornings whenever I had to lead morning meetings when I was a director of about a 70-bed facility. And even before that, whenever I did client services and work development and I had to lead the meetings, I would always try to slip in this particular video of Honest Liars, because she really goes through and talks about self-deception. And that is why I say find someone in your life that you can trust and believe when they say, hey man, you're kind of fucking up, or that's bullshit, and you believe them. You don't necessarily have to act on them, because sometimes things they don't, but consider what they say. because we cannot see ourselves as other people do. And if we want to get better, we have to have someone that will give us an honest reflection of ourselves that we can listen to. Now then, starting with the next episode, we will be looking at cravings. I'm going to talk to you about the physiological aspect of why we do dumb shit when things are going well for us. It's got a lot to do with the solar plexus and the midbrain and how it communicates with us. That's a part of the curriculum which will be educational. These last few videotapes have been about 5 foundations that everyone needs to look at so that they can have a better life and not fall off into the chaos. This is a general curriculum for recovery houses and for people that want to get better. I will be refining it as I go along, but I had to put something down. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to see how these work out before I put too much more out there.